So in a video I made before, I was talking about how Kanye had become passive assertive, and there's not that many passive assertive examples in our modern society, whatever. But okay, so this still represents a problem for the mainstream legacy press or media, and so they're getting this glow in the dark. It's like they don't have to know they're glowing in the dark, but Nick Fuentes to set up Kanye to become the butt of jokes. Kanye might be glow in the dark too, but for the purposes that somebody who glows in the dark can also be passive assertive, they're more afraid of passive assertiveness being a shining example in our society, right? Because you have to remember, you're against, you're anti, you're a fringe element not everybody agrees with. You're a, you know what I mean? And they can't, and Kanye right now is fucking them up. So they get people like Nick Fuentes who can't understand what's going on right now because he's too busy searching for cum splatter with his black light, and getting into all kind of like antics and shit where they make him the butt of jokes because he does crazy shit like eavesdrop on his roommates and take pictures of them in their sleep and then post it, try to own them. He does homoerotic shit. He's jealous of Destiny's wife, all this kind of shit, right? Like, so this is convenient for now. You know what I'm saying? Now he's being incentivized somehow to get together with Kanye on social media, and it's like they're trying to discredit Kanye because they're gonna start, you know what I'm saying, how they say like you're all right, anti, dark, ultra, alts. What am I missing? It's like 5, 6. Those pejorative terms. Even the word whore is not a pejorative. It's how people they use it in the pejorative, and you get that feeling, then you want to punch somebody in the face. I can understand it, so I won't do it. You know what I mean? But you get every other word, who, what, why, when, how, whole, and world from the word whore. It's divine. It's a divine word. Regardless of how anybody feels about it, the reason you feel about it that way is because you're used to it being used in a pejorative stance. Now, I'm not saying anybody wants to be a prostitute, you know what I mean? But to be real with yourself, you have to acknowledge that everybody loves a whore. So whether or not you want to be that for me or somebody, or like, that's on you. That's your decision. Some people needed something like an element to spice up their relationship. You know what I mean? They'll want to whore themselves out to their husband or their wife or something. But just be on the lookout, because you're at it's a plateau. You can reach your plateaus when you're passive assertive, You can speak truth to light, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. Like, what happens if the Most High agrees with what you're saying? That would be powerful. So you're only getting closer, and so they're sending, and poor Nick Fuentes, because he's just being used, because because he's a cat. He meows like meow, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that he's always gonna be like that. You can be another person later. But right now, he's catting off, and fucking that's why they're like, how's Kanye not? He's got to know. He's figuring it out right now. Kanye right now is realizing that you know what I mean? And I've seen Nick Fuentes showing up on No Jumper and shit. I don't really like No Jumper. But they're setting him up to be like the antithesis to the protagonist in civil discourse on social media. It's setting him up to be like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have this, like, everybody. No, it ain't. They're gonna set him up to fucking try to make fun of Kanye by saying he's legitimizing him. It's making him. It's taking him off of point. It's gonna try to take him off point. To try to make him less prescient. You can go ahead and forget and ignore about Kanye. You know what I mean? Like, you're forgiven if you want to disregard. You know, but what's to disregard? He's passive assertive. You only disregard words. You only disregard somebody's whole demeanor. The fuck. That's what I'm saying about when it gets down to it. I can't even complain about these elites because they turn out to believe in shit that I can't even put in the right parameters, like the stream of consciousness. You know what I mean? Like, just because we know the stream of consciousness breaks all wavelengths and you can repair some of them, but eventually will pop up again to test it and then overcome and break until it breaks it. Because what the stream of consciousness does doesn't mean that it's a real thing that exists. And then you can go out and watch people interacting with the stream of consciousness, like as in a study, like to get data or to plot your next moves. Like, that's not really what it do. I'm trying to take me out of context or something. Oh, that's what the stream of consciousness do? Take you out of context, or you take yourself out of context. You don't want to acknowledge that the other person was not able to process what you were saying, and you're just going on irregardless, thinking that they're going to get it, and they can fix their end of the wavelength. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stop saying you know what I'm saying.